Never got into the bag, into the bugle. You know?
I think there's a time and place for it.
The time is the 80s,
Yeah,
the place is Wall Street.
In Russia, is a woman of very comfortable looking uncomfortable holding flowers.
There's a lot of women out there, and you're definitely one of them.
She still sends me messages like, how do you feel not being a real man?
Procure, consume, imbibe.
No, the word
all
you're
these
looking for.
lovely
The word you're
verbs.
looking for is aging.
And of course, I was kind of half joking. But in Russia, that shit ain't no joke. All right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying is true, all of you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Big English Stand-Up Show. Nice to have you with us. My name is Steve Foreman. I'm here with the Mumsy.
What's up?
Up in the house. We are illuminating the secret laws of human nature. Listen, we're here to help, even if our help isn't wanted or indeed needed. We make happier people happier. That's going to get cut out. How you doing, bro? I haven't seen
like
you
the
in
idea of
100 years.
But I like the idea of making happier people happier.
All right, if you just want me to say it, yeah, well, where'd you find him in Moscow? Huh?
That's true. Okay, you got me there.
What's it called? But what's it called? No, I've got a bit of a hangover today, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, and it's one of these new style of hangovers, right? Where you just Skype an old pal.
Mm-hmm.
You're on Skype with your old pal, and the wine comes out, and you always have a few too many because it's like your old pal and you're catching up, and it's like you're 20 years younger than you actually are. And you forget that your mind is playing tricks on you, and then the next day you're like, oh man. Ooh. It's that kind of, so it's like the post-COVID, Zoom call, Skype call, hangover. That's what I got right now. All right.
You know what's actually interesting about that is how easy it was for us to slip into that as a norm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen.
I mean, when you're hanging with old mates and you see them face to face, it happens all the time,
Yes.
right? Naturally.
Yes.
But the crazy thing is that, like, you think about when you're discussing it now, it happens so quickly. Like, it's happened to me 3 times since last year.
Yeah.
And I'm just chilling with a mate, we're drinking, we're just chatting, and we're like, no. Because it feels like, at first it was awkward, and we're like, okay, this is a call. We shouldn't be drinking on a call. It kind of feels like work.
Right.
And then over time you realize, I'm not going to see this guy for a long time.
Yeah.
And we do drink when we see each other, so why not pop a little, and then you end up getting drunk, and then you feel it the next morning.
Now that you mention it, he wasn't drinking.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to have a word with him about that. Like, what's that all about? He was like having tea or something. But then,
Well, then you weren't drinking enough if you noticed that he wasn't drinking.
That's true, yeah. Next time, huh? Next time. Well, he's back to work, yeah. But I tell you what you do need to look out for is when a bunch of people that you were friends with as students, one of them's getting married deep into his 30s, and then you all go to Ibiza for a stag party.
Oh, wow.
And you basically, you consume the way that you did when you used to know each other 15 years ago. What's the word I'm looking for? Procure, consume, imbibe.
No, the word you're
verbs.
looking for is aging. That's the word you're looking for. I hate aging. Yeah.
I got a message from the groom about a week later, and he was just like, "I'm still dead. I'm still dead.
Still recovering.
I'm still dead after Ibiza." Basically, for every day that you are in Ibiza, that you need 1 or 2 days as much to recover. Basically, that's how it was. But then he has started hanging around with a bunch of bagheads.
Really?
Oh, it's all over the place. It was like Tony Montana up in there, man.
Say hello to my Spanish friend.
I never got into the bag, into the bugle, into the horse bag, nose bag. What's it called? Hey,
the whole kit and caboodle.
As many names as you want, man. Hey, man, our sponsors aren't going to like us. Talking about drugs. So yeah, no, I'm saying I've never been into the bugle. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand it. I don't think 90-something% of people do not need a drug, which makes them more confident than they were before, and 2, talk more than they did before, and 3, take themselves more seriously than they were before. tick, tick, tick on the bugle. You know what I mean? And you're just sitting there going, you're really not. You really shouldn't be as confident as you are. You shouldn't be talking this much, and you really, definitely shouldn't be taking yourself this seriously.
Yeah,
that's my widest summary of people on the nose bag, basically. And you know what I'm saying is true, by the way. You know what I'm saying is true, all of you. But some of my very good friends love it on the weekend, or they used to. And I just always like, why would you want to meet in the toilet and shove something up your nose? I don't get it. I don't get it. Never really understood it.
Yeah, I think there's a time and place for it, especially.
The time is the 80s, and the place is Wall Street, isn't it?
Actually, the time is the 80s if you are a particular age, but I think in your 20s. 20s for about 2 years. If you want to experiment, get it out of your way then.
Really?
20 to 22, get it out of. You cannot be a 35-year-old who's starting a family who only then starts to experiment, because I know people who start doing that, and that's problematic.
Oh my God.
So if you want to experiment when your hangovers only last 2 hours, not when they last 3 weeks. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the worst time to try something new. Plus, the worst thing about starting anything, drugs are bad in general. No one should do them. But if you are going to experiment with anything, don't start experimenting when you actually have the disposable income to do it every single day. That's the problem. When you're in our 30s, you can afford to do it all the time. So when people start then and they start the addiction, because drugs are bad, okay? If you start the addiction at a later age, it's horrible. If you experiment when you're young, you can't afford to keep doing it every single day. So, that's it.
That's a very good point. You should get all your drug use out of the way when you're young, because you can't actually afford to do that much.
Yeah.
It's a very good point. Very good point. Never even thought of that. And do you remember how you're always like asking people, have you got any? Have you got any?
Yes!
Somebody gives you a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I remember being half a pill, just being so happy at getting half a pill and just being like, because it just changes you. It can change your night.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you started smoking early, but do you remember when we started smoking? Like, I started smoking in my teens, right? And even then, I couldn't afford to buy cigarettes. I was a teenager. Now, have you noticed people who start smoking now? They start vaping. They've got the most expensive, biggest vapes. They've got 16 different selections. They've got all... And you're like, no, but you've got too much disposable income now to do it in a way that was normal to test something out. Now you're just doing it every single day. You know what I mean? That's cancerous stuff. So... if you want to start something, start it young when you can't afford it, not when you can.
So what else? Recently we had Earth Day, right? Now, I want to say straight off the bat, okay, of all the planets, Earth is definitely my favorite, okay? Earth is definitely my favorite. I mean, it's got women on it. It's got wine, right? Yeah, any of that up in Venus? I don't think so, yeah? And do you ever hear the fashionistas say, blue and green should never be seen? Well, guess what? Earth does it. It works. It can pull it off. Huh? How about that? And it looks fabulous.
That's very
fabulous. True. And I'm surprised nobody's actually come to visit, actually, because it's the most fabulous looking planet of them all, man. Yellow, orange, lame. Pluto's an ugly... Pluto is the ugly fat girl at the back of the class.
Yeah.
That's what Pluto is. Sorry, Pluto. But hey, then again, maybe they have come to visit. Maybe they're already here. Do you think they're already here?
The way you're looking at me right now, I think you are they.
I was just thinking maybe you are. Maybe you are. Let's all make a fantastic sci-fi movie set in South Africa about that very thing.
No, you know, I had a deep sigh when you mentioned Earth Day. I don't know why people feel the need to celebrate Earth once. Just once in a year.
You find that a bit depressing, yeah?
I find it absolutely depressing. All those things that you mentioned. Beautiful woman.
Wine.
The gigs that we did. Those happen every single day. Not even the hangovers. And especially the cause of the hangovers. That happens on Earth every single day. to celebrate it, like to actually create an Earth Day. This is it, right? To create an Earth Day is creating a day like Valentine's Day, right? It's like saying no one actually cares about love enough that we have to dedicate a day to it. Do you know what I mean? No one cares about the Earth enough that we have to create a day to it, okay? Everybody loves sex. We all do it all the time. But tell me, when is Sex Day? Because it happens all the time and no one needs to put attention to it.
Sorry, can I just check? Are you asking me the last time I... No.
No. We're not going to get into that discussion.
Because I'd rather steer away from that, frankly, if we can. I don't know how we got there. I was talking about Earth Day. Now he's shining a light on my... No. You brought it up. I was just talking about sex in general, and then you were like, "Oh, this is the perfect time for me to." Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you. And I'm sorry, I love Salt and Pepper. God bless them. Big shout out to Salt and Pepper.
Well, now
that
we're on the topic, I think this is the perfect segue. You got Valentine's Day because apparently we don't show appreciation for love enough. You have Earth Day because apparently we don't show enough appreciation for Earth. Okay?
Well, I would like to open this up. What do you think about this whole... Because, like, when you come to Russia, as you'll know as well, like, there are a couple of things that just leap out at you where you're just like, oh, okay, all right, I didn't know. We don't have that back home. That's cool. Whatever you say. And one of them is definitely, International Women's Day, right? The 8th of March, he didn't notice. 8th of March is the International Women's Day. And that is the day where all men give women certainly congratulations just for, being a woman, being born a woman. And they give flowers. I tend to just text everybody, send them a funny picture of some kind. You just need to acknowledge them and say, you're a fabulous woman. God bless you. One of my faves. I mean, there's a lot. You're definitely one of. There's a lot of women out there, and you're definitely one of them.
The strange thing about that is that, for me, I thought that Russians didn't celebrate International Women's Day in the same way as we did in South Africa.
No, they did. They were big on it in the Soviet Union, so it stayed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In fact, their whole feminism. Equality thing is very interesting over here. It's weird, but really quite interesting. Because women were working in the factories, and all the way through they had equal rights in principle, which went really well overall. But there we go.
No, because the reason I was remembering, and the reason why I'm on my phone now, I'm not being rude. I'm actually just trying to. There was an actual conversation that I was having with someone on Tinder, specifically on National Women's Day.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to see if I can. Actually, I can't trace the thing now, but I sent her a message and I was like, "How is it celebrated here?" Because like in South Africa we take it quite serious, and
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, it's Women's Day. Everyone has a mom, or at least a sister, or a cousin, or family members. Regardless of like anyone who's your partner or girlfriend, there is somebody in your life who is involved in bringing you up, who's a woman. All right. So it's a very important day to acknowledge that. So we do. But it's not necessarily related to, flowers and sex and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just literally like, who are the most important people in my grandmother, my aunt, my mom. What do they actually like? My mom wanted to go watch the play. My grandmother just wants to stay alive. And my cousin, what. You know what I mean? You just want to show them appreciation on that day. Here, it just becomes about flowers. Which, that was the thing that stuck out. It wasn't the day itself. It was just the amount of flowers that women were just uncomfortably holding down the street.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's for them. It's a sense of like it's a single thing that I've noticed specifically in Russia is that women are very comfortable looking uncomfortable wearing flowers, holding flowers. Because normally, like flowers it's a nice gesture and it's a gift from one person to another, and you should feel, oh my goodness, he's thinking about me. This is so special. It's such a beautiful moment that we've had together. Now what I want to do is I want to keep the wrapping on the flowers and walk down the street so that everybody can see how special this moment I had privately with this guy was.
Yeah. But
you know what I mean?
That's very much of the age. That's totally understandable.
Moscow, yeah.
I'll never forget the first time this kind of thing started happening to me. It was like in the birth of all this Instagram thing, right? And it was, I remember there was this girl that I really liked, or I thought I did. I thought I liked her, let's be clear. And I think and she didn't really like me very much. She just liked the attention, that's for sure.
Oh.
And then I remember I invited her to, what was it? And I just brought her, like in our first conversation, I'd remembered like a few things that she liked or whatever, and I gave her a nickname or something. I don't remember what it was. And then I said, well, will you meet me in Starbucks or whatever it was? And then I turned up and I showed up and I had a couple of gifts for her. There might have been flowers, maybe not. I don't actually remember. And she was like, oh, that's sweet. And then she just took out her phone and she gathered all the gifts or the whole thing that we'd done with the thing. And she took a picture of it. And I was just like, what are you doing? And she went, oh, no, it's nice. I want to take a picture of it. And then as I was going home, like I saw she'd put on Facebook and Instagram and everything, you know, and she'd written, let me translate it. It was, envy me, bitches. Yeah. Like, check me out, bitches. So it was what was it? Suchki. I've forgotten the name in Russian, the word in Russian now. Yeah, it was like envy me. And it was just like, that was exactly what she wanted to, to show everybody, was that somebody was making this much effort for her. That was the key moment of this whole evening, rather than anything else.
It's so strange though. Like, don't you find it weird that like Instagram has allowed people with insecurities a longer road, like just a bigger voice, a bigger way of showing the rest of the world all their insecurities.
And then eventually you're just gonna wait for them to hang themselves with it, man. It's cool. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. I was listening to that story and I was hoping that there was going to be a little, because it sounded like there could have been like a really nice romantic ending to it, and then I just heard the envy me, bitches.
Yeah, well,
there's a lot of that there.
It's my fault. She just had the most incredible top shelf. She just had a fantastic balcony. It was a hell of a balcony. You got to believe me. All right. And I need to look out for that. That's my Jones.
Yeah, sounds like a great apartment.
But I remember International Women's Day came round, and I just started seeing this girl. Yeah. And I sent her just like the usual little card, and I think I wrote to her and said, "Oh, do you want to give me the address so I can send the flowers?"
Yeah.
And of course, I was kind of half joking. But in Russia, that shit ain't no joke, all right?
Yeah.
You do not write to a Russian woman and say, send me your address because I need to know where to send flowers. There can't be any jokey there.
No wink, no haha, no lol.
The address just shoots straight through.
This is the code. This is what you punch in at the front. Go to the top 10 to Casper Michaelton, and he knows the process. You're like, he knows the process? What?
Right, it was like, fired off the reply. And then now I'm looking at my phone and I've actually got her address.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh shit, I've actually got her address now.
Now you need to follow through on your joke.
Need to. I was kind of messing with you.
Yeah.
But now I do actually have to send her some flowers. And then we got into it. And she said, well, of course you have to send me. I saw her the next day, I think. Well, of course you got. She said, I've been getting flowers for 8th of March ever since I was a little girl. What do you mean no flowers? And she actually said, I cannot imagine not getting flowers on the 8th of March.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, okay, all right. And listen, I think I squirmed my way out of it, man.
You didn't send her flowers?
I sent her the next day. And I was just very sorry. I'm really sorry. It's one day late.
Yeah.
Please forgive me. It won't happen again. And that was it. And I think I got out of it more or less. Did I?
I made that mistake.
No, in the end, no, I didn't really.
I made that mistake with one particular lady, and she still sends me messages that I don't reply to. She still sends me messages like, how do you feel not being a real man? She still sends me messages like that now.
Whoa!
Like once every 3 days, I get a message like, you feel good not being a man?
That is incredible. See, no one's ever gone that far. No one's ever said, I don't think anyone's ever said to me, you're not a real man. But they've definitely, what's the word? They've definitely inferred it. It's definitely been inferred over the years, but no one's actually directly said. But I know how to counteract that anyway. It doesn't matter to me.
Don't worry about counteracting. I mean, even if anyone could say any sentence to anybody, right? And the only person who's going to look like an idiot is the one who reacts.
That's a very good point.
That's it. So
nice.
I've heard some of the most shocking things in my life.
Yeah.
And it's only the times that I reacted that I was the idiot. Other than that, life goes on.
I mean, that reminds me, what you just said there, that reminds me of like the best advice that I've ever been given. You know, I think the best advice to anybody is 4 words. Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
And I think that's just such good advice, and I wish I've latched onto it when I was younger. But when you're young, people say things to you. They don't even know what they're saying half the time. They're just trying to get a reaction, or they found a way to be mean. They don't even know. It's not even loaded with anything, right? Yeah. It's political. It's political. People could say something to you, and you just take it so... You go, oh, my God, really?
100%.
Oh, my God, have I ever... And you take it away with you. Especially if you're my kind of person, someone like me, you know, the whole left-handed shit at school except for art.
Yeah.
Especially if you're one of those kind of people. I feel like you just
described me.
Yeah, if you're one of those kind of people, you can just drudge through your life year after year feeling really inadequate. And you're not inadequate. You're fine. You're cool. Just absolutely, people like that are needed in this world.
You know, my late brother once said to me that the reason why people are so mean when they're young is that they're still learning how to speak. They're just practicing. That's it. So most of the time they don't even mean what they say. They're just like, oh wait, I heard this in a movie. I just need to say it right now, because they haven't thought out the consequences. They haven't thought out what it means to people. They don't even care what they're saying. You know what I mean? They're just saying it to say it.
I've noticed that. There's a Joe Rogan bit where he says that. He says, when you're 20. You don't know anything. Yeah. You're basically just practicing talking.
Yes, exactly.
That's the Joe Rogan bit. It's so true. Like if you're like over 30, 40, and a 20-year-old starts giving you this, you just kind of stand there going, you're just practicing talking.
Yeah.
You don't even know what the words are in a certain order, but you don't even really know what you mean, do you?
Yeah.
That's just a fact. But I always, the way that I've dealt with this is, maybe we mentioned it on another show, but it's a question of motivation, isn't it? It depends what you're motivated by.
Yes.
And
intent.
And that we always talk about intent in comedy, don't we? We always talk about intent in comedy. What I mean by that is, people can criticize a comedian's joke, but and they can look at it from a very political point of view, from a identity politics point of view, and they don't want to acknowledge what the intent of the joke was.
Yes.
And that can be incredibly annoying, and especially when you're starting out, because you're building jokes, and it can be quite a good joke, and then people go, well, you can't say that, that's just rude. I'm like, well, it's not supposed to be rude when you think about who the target is and so on.
100%.
You know what I mean. Sorry if that doesn't make any sense to everybody. But anyway,
No, it does. Actually, no. Before we carry on, because I want to build on that, because that's actually one of the most amazing things to discuss, right? If you think about comedy, you think about a conversation, you think about a relationship, you think about and try this exercise right now. If there's anything that you really want to do, okay, and you want other people to see that you do it well, don't focus on trying to do the thing well. Focus more on your energy on trying to show people what your intent is on doing it well. So if I'm really, really bad at like playing soccer, right? I can go onto the soccer pitch and I can be like, yeah, I'm the best soccer player. They call me the football master. Yeah. Knowing that I'm really bad and knowing that I just want attention, but I'm not showing people the intent that I want the attention. I'm just going out there looking like a dick. What happens? People are going to be like, oh my God, he's such a dick, right? And it happens. However, if I know I'm bad at soccer and my intention is just literally to have a fun game of soccer, and I go out there and I'm just cracking jokes and I fall over and I'm like self-deprecating to myself and whatever, people get the intent that you just want to have fun, and they know that you're not pushing how bad you are, right? Mm-hmm. The problem is so many people use intent in the wrong way.
I don't get it.
And that's the crazy thing. So specifically, sorry about that, but like when you think about comedy, the best comedians are the ones who, because it's a two-way road, the best comedians are the ones who can explain their intent while telling the joke without having to explain it, right? And the best audience members are the ones who are not judging the comedian on the joke, but on the intent. Yeah. I know it got very deep, but that's literally, it's like, for me, intent is such an important thing to understand because if you want to get with a woman, right? Yeah, I was on a date the other day.
Hey, here we go. This episode is really charged, isn't it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? It's spring, that's why, because it's spring.
Spring is the best time in Moscow. Like, the weather gets better. Even though it rains a bit, and like sometimes the weather's not amazing, how awesome is it that people are smiling again? Like, I feel like I've missed smiles for so long.
Welcome to Russia, my friend.
I think it's the best feeling ever.
It is nice. Of course it's nice. Everyone cheers up a bit. It's lovely.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah. It's
the
cool.
walks in the parks.
You know, that's the thing. They're not bad people. You know, they just, and it is nice to see them smiling more happy and everything.
I honestly think Russians are amazing. I think they're really great.
Yeah,
I think they're awesome.
No, I'm with you 100%.
Actually, no. I'm gonna say the sentence that everyone should be saying.
Yeah.
Every single human being on Earth is amazing, but the circumstances of their life can sometimes turn them into a douchebag or an amazing contributing factor to this Earth. That's it. That's my message for Earth Day. I'm Mumsy, and I endorse this message.
And we out. For example, I'm seeing more and more female bus drivers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think being a bus driver in Moscow is a perfect job if you are really kind of antisocial, middle-aged, angry woman, you know, who's got that man-hating, everybody-hating vibe going on. Because you're tucked away, because you don't got to talk to no one. You just sit in your drive, and then you can just, you know, everybody just uses their passes to get through. That is the place where people like that, that's the kind of job that they should be doing. Just drive the bus, shut your mouth, don't talk to no one, don't be rude to no one, just drive the bus, bitch. Rather than working in a shop. There's a local shop around the corner from me.
Yeah.
One of the women in there, honestly, I've actually started fetishizing it recently. I go in there and I don't even want to buy anything from her. Like there's a woman there, there's a woman there with the fruit, then there's the butcher, and then there's the dairies. It's one of these kind of places, and they've all got their own kind of bit. And I usually go over here and stuff, and they all know me. I make them laugh and stuff. Like, look at that weird. That's that weird British guy again. What does he want? Well, they know my order, but I see her in the corner of my eye, and I just go just to enjoy how angry she is. And I know that whatever I ask her, the reply will just come back like that. Anything, like that's the tone at which she speaks. And she's so rude and so nasty.
Yeah.
But it's never got to the point where she's crossed the line, and I just cover her. I could just insult her until she started crying if I wanted to. But I quite like all her colleagues. Yeah. So if it gets back to them that British guy was just started retaliating.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be cool, so I'm not going to do it. But if you want, like, why don't you just come by and meet the angriest woman in Moscow? She's so nasty.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I would love to know what it is that happened to her. But she's got that job, and that was it. Do you know? I got up really early. I was walking to the shop. I thought, I'm just going to get some stuff here. Here we go. I walked past, and her friend, it was 9:45 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Her and one of the other women was sitting on the bench in front of the shop smoking like that. And then I go up and I'm just about to open the door and she goes, "It's closed!" And I went, "What?" She went, "It's closed!" Right, and I went, why? She went, because it's not 10 o'clock yet. Like that.
Wow.
That's how angry she is. She's already furiously angry with the rest of humanity at 9:45 in the morning. And I'm a regular customer, like, and she's still incredibly mean to me. Like, her meanness is off the scale. She's a talent. She's a talent. She could join Darth Vader in the next Star Wars. She could be, join the Empire.
I think what you should do is you should go to the government department that deals with the jobs for the buses. Get the application for her.
She needs to be a bus driver.
And hand it to her and just say,
please.
There's many ways that I've celebrated the 8th of May wrong. And baby girl, today I'm doing it right. This is my gift to you. Oh, so I got you some flowers.
That's what I should do. I should just go up to her, give her some flowers and just walk away. See what happens. And then just put a little camera and just see her freak out. She'll probably tear them to pieces though. She's so angry. I don't know.
Woman. Like in a situation like that, it could go either way because a lot of people who seem very angry, and visibly so, right, are the ones who are actually they turn out to be real sweethearts.
Oh, really? The thing is though, do you know the other thing is she's a middle-aged woman. She's not even hideous. I mean, she's an okay.
That's a very
looking.
That's a very low barometer. She's not even hideous.
No, but if she was, dude, come on, let's call it how it is. I don't give a shit, yo.
Yeah. Angry and hideous is a lot.
Sometimes you see people whose body is just really not what they would wish it to be.
Yeah.
And people got boils and things on their face, and you look at them and they go, "This is a very angry, nasty person lashing out for no reason." But maybe I'd be the same if I looked at that. She don't got any of that. She's an okay looking lady. She's got a nice hairstyle. She's in, I don't know. Maybe her husband really messed her up or something. I don't know, man. But anyway, I think I might pop in there today and just see how she's getting on.
I want to see this angry woman, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Was it you who was talking about in your comedy? There's the woman that when you go into a building, there's this particular woman who's on the ground floor who just shouts at you.
Yes.
It's not even her job to give you directions or to be nice. Her job is to shout at you, and everything else is a perk. You know what I mean? You getting to your office is a perk. But her job, when they're briefing her, when they come in the door, you are not to give direction. If they get to the right place, it's nice for them. But your job is to make their lives difficult. Like, I've experienced that a lot. And it's not normal because I don't think it's part of Russian culture. I've met a lot of lovely women, but I just think that in situations like that, they just watch too many American movies and they're like, maybe this is how I'm supposed to behave. this is what they if this is what they expect, this is what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean?
Oh, women,
I'm black and I don't even like chicken, but I eat it because they tell me I'm supposed to. I hate watermelon, but on TV I'm like, yes, sir. I'm an idiot.
That's very true. I have that with, do you know Faulty Towers?
Love Faulty Towers. Oh.
With Faulty Towers, Dad's Army, and one or two others, I just stare at them and I just go, what's so funny about this? Why does everybody think this is funny? It's stupid.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. But Only Fools and Horses, The Office, what else is there? Oh, The Royal Family, wonderful, genius. So much good stuff. Absolutely. Porridge. Oh, I love Porridge. If you don't know a British sitcom called Porridge, guys, check that out. That is hilarious. Genius. Ronnie Barker is a genius. What else? Absolutely loads of stuff, which is great, and I'm very, and it exports well. Oh, Blackadder! Oh my God, The last couple of seasons of Blackadder, incredible. Incredible.
Okay,
but
so
those
wait, where
two,
are you on
I
Monty
don't get it.
Python?
I can see how it broke. Actually, I watched The Life of Brian during quarantine, and I was laughing all the way through. Life of Brian, they nailed it. They nailed it. But I got to tell you, as a kid, I enjoyed it much more as an adult because I know I can see what they're satirizing. They're satirizing the mythology of the Bible and all the things attached to it. You know, where's the popular front of Judea? He's over there. You know, or whatever. And like as an adult, I got all the jokes because I love mythology and all this. But as a kid, he's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Or what about when he's haggling? The scene that cracked me up was when he's haggling in the marketplace for a mask. Like that's brilliant. Oh, come on, mate, meet me halfway. Like that's very truthful about life. That is a brilliant piece of satire. Life of Brian's fantastic. The Meaning of Life. Actually, do you know what? Come to think of it, it is really good. Like sketch to sketch, it's great. The movies are great. Yeah, they got their due. Those boys got their due for real. And Eric Idle for Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. I have to say that's a genius. I know how hard it is to write, how to create musical comedies. Very hard, and that's a masterpiece. No, good guys. I love John Cleese. I love some of his other movies. I love, Fish Called Wonder.
Oh, it's one of my best movies.
You know, John Cleese is great. I don't see how anyone can have a problem with John Cleese. I've come here to have an argument. No, you haven't. Yes, I have. No, you haven't. It's kind of stupid, but it is pretty great.
All of those. So the reason I was asking is all of those.
It's pretty great, actually.
When I think of my relationship with British comedies and British sitcoms and British humorous series, some of them I watched when I was so young that I didn't understand what was going on.
That's what I noticed. It's actually quite clever.
There's a level of intellect that you have to be at to understand it.
I think so.
But also, there's a type of it's a very fine balance. The British humor always has to do with the extreme worst possible thing that could happen, right? I don't know what word it is for it, but it's like uncomfortable situations, awkwardness. Yes, they are the kings of awkwardness. Sure. But there are different levels of awkward humor, right? So you've got like Little Britain. Okay, then you have, so on a scale, you've got Little Britain, you've got Fawlty Towers, and then Mr. Bean, right? Those are three different extremes of awkward, right? But different types of humor. Then, of course, there's different levels of intellect in each different type of humor, right? So Mr. Bean, a majority of it is slapstick. There's not a lot of intelligence there, but there are some moments where when you understand how hard it is to be funny without saying anything, and you watch it, that's when you notice the level of genius that is involved behind it. So I've had it's always interesting when people have different perspectives on because for me, Fawlty Towers is one of the greatest.
Really?
Honestly.
Can you explain it to me?
It's I grew up with it and I watched it in different phases. So I've seen Fawlty Towers when I was young. So in South Africa on Christmas, there's only two things that they play during Christmas. Dinner for One and Fawlty Towers. It is on SABC 1, which is the biggest TV station in South Africa, Dinner for One, Fawlty Towers always plays, right? So it became tradition. So I would watch, so Dinner for One is just hilarious in general. No matter how old you are, you just watch that. It's just great. But Fawlty Towers, you watch it when you're young, and you find that you're drawn to Manuel immediately because he's just this character, you know? Then in my teen years, I was drawn to Basil. I was completely drawn to Basil. Lately, when I watch it, it's the wife that she fascinates me. Because now I can relate her to where I am in my life. I've watched so much of it, and now I'm looking for different avenues of the humor. And there's so many layers on it. There's so many layers. The writing for each particular character, the way that it comes together, the ensemble by itself. There are moments where you're just like, okay, cool. It might be predictable or whatever. But then there's just amazing performances from all the cameos, the guests and everything. It just comes together. So I've enjoyed it from in different ways as I've grown up with it, you know? But it's very interesting because I have a lot of friends who don't like Fawlty Towers, but they watched it at a very specific time in their life and didn't watch it again. So they related it to specifically what was going on in their lives at that particular time. Whereas for me, like, I've kind of grown up with it. You know, when I look at something like, if you look at The Office, right? I love the British Office. The American Office, I only really got used to because now I live in a binge society. It's like binge TV.
Yawn.
So
I got one word for the American Office.
Did you finish it? Did you finish the whole series?
I didn't even finish one episode.
I've watched every possible thing every possible comedy that is out there. Have you seen anything on Netflix that like is really funny recently?
Listen, what are you asking me for? A recommendation or something funny or what?
Yeah, I feel like I've watched. I mean, I'm at a point now where I name some things that you've watched and I'll.
Mate, do you know I've just started The Sopranos from the beginning.
Okay, that's the only. That's
God.
That is the only thing I haven't seen is The Sopranos.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've started The Sopranos from the beginning. And I am just, oh my goodness me.
Woke up this morning. I know the song, but I've never seen it. I just always saw the adverts on TV. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. We're talking about something that raised the standard forever. You know, I mean, The Sopranos is like the Marlon Brando of television shows. The Sopranos is like the Richard Pryor of television shows. It just came along and just went, okay, we're doing it up to this standard now, everybody. Now either buckle up or fuck off.
Was Sopranos before The Wire? Or was The Wire?
Just before The Wire. The Wire is wonderful. I'm a big fan of The Wire. But it's very serious and very intellectual. But I'm a big fan of The Wire. Like, if you're a Wire fan, if I ever met either Dominic West or Idris Elba, I'd be just like, oh, McNulty! You know, Stringer Bell! Oh my God, it's fucking Stringer Bell! And like, I'm sure people have done that to him. Hundreds of people must have seen Idris Elba and gone, oh, Stringer Bell! He's probably sick of it. But I would just be that same predictable fanboy, basically.
I'm such a you know, when I know that an actress is from another, like an actor or an actress is from another country and they're performing in a particular accent, do you know how many times I wasn't even watching the show and I was just waiting for Idris to slip up on his accent?
Well, the two stars of that show are both Brits.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing.
You're right.
And I've heard that people I think Dominic West was being interviewed on TV, and like just people all over America were just like looking at him going, why is he talking like that? What's wrong with him? By the way, he's as posh as they can be. He went to Oxford or Cambridge, and I think he's got a title. I think he's got land.
Okay.
He's a proper English posh boy. His English is as nice as it can be.
Yeah.
And I think the same with Stringer Bell. Why is he talking like that? And no, that gives us a thrill when the two stars of the show were Brits. And it might be time. Maybe when the weather fails, I'll watch The Wire from beginning to end again if I can. It's amazing. But The Sopranos, I've started from the beginning, and just James Gandolfini. I mean, I know this stuff. I watched it years ago, on and off. I'm just going through it again. Just what a performance! What an actor! What an actor! I've never seen such charisma in a leading role, and just the ultimate alpha male. Like that's the alpha male right there in a 3-dimensional example, the likes of which, I mean, good luck trying to do something like that again. A character analysis, just wow.
Did you ever watch James Gandolfini against Robert Redford in a movie called The Lost Castle?
No.
Oh my god! So if any of you haven't seen it, there'll be no spoilers here. But basically, James Gandolfini is the head of he's the warden of a prison specifically designed for military ex-military guys who like screwed up in the military, right?
Court martials.
Yes, court martials. And Robert Redford was the general, and he ended up coming into this prison.
Right.
And the whole gist of the story is, and you'll see this in the trailer, so I'm not giving anything away. The excitement is actually just in like how they deliver these performances and make it so like it's just so compelling and amazing. But essentially, what happens is Robert Redford comes in. James Gandolfini's character is like he just worships. He worships this general. He has like a collection of his books. He's got all this like memorabilia of like war things, and it's this one sentence that Robert Redford says when he's looking. James Gandolfini's like trying to like impress him and everything, and Robert Redford says this one line. He's like, "Oh, well, my dad had a collection like this, and he always said to me that any man who has a collection like this has never seen like a real battlefield." And James Gandolfini is like, "Oh, is this what's happening up in here?" And the whole movie is you have an ex-general of the American Army who is a prisoner, and you have a warden who is clearly not a general, but is motivated to destroy this man's life, and this general who has an army of prisoners. It's like it's just
cool.
It is unbelievable. So I actually have to watch Sopranos now because you give it a great description, and James Gandolfini is just one of the best performers. It's a great ensemble performance, like ensemble cast though.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's more there.
Of course there are.
So I definitely need to check it out.
I've never known. He's like a star in the sense of, the way that you have the sun and all the planets go around it. Like James Gandolfini in The Sopranos is like this.
There's a gravitas.
He's literally this. It's incredible. And then the others, they compliment him. They go around him. The wife is brilliant by his wife Carmela. She's a brilliant actress.
Yeah.
They've all won Emmys. They were always winning Emmys for their performances. They've all won one. But he's just like this throbbing like energy at the center of it, the likes of which I just cannot remember. I've never seen anything like it. It's just incredible. What happened to me the other day? I was looking for a jacket for myself. And for the longest time I was an M.
What?
Medium.
Yeah.
And then occasionally after quarantine, a couple of L's, a couple of larges I'm trying on. And then for the first time in my life, the other day, I went into a shop, tried this jacket on. It kind of fits me. It's an extra large. What? And I turned to the girl and I took it out all on her. I was just like, "What do you mean extra large?"
Yeah.
Did you? What do you mean extra large? This ain't no extra. I ain't no extra large. Do I look extra large to you?
Yeah.
Bitch?
Yeah.
Huh? And she was just like, well, it's extra large. I'm like, did you sew that into the jacket while I wasn't looking?
Yeah.
There's no way I'm extra large. I've never been extra large in my whole life. She went, "Well, that's extra large. Do you want to try extra large? Or is it a little bit tight around?" Couldn't believe it. It was like, it was a real shock for me that I am actually getting into certain extra large items of clothing.
Well, look, I'm gonna be. This is gonna be a horrible thing for me to say, but the labels on clothes these days are very misleading because I have 3 tops. One is large, one is small, and one is medium. And when I put them on top of each other, they're all the same size.
There you go.
Right?
Thank you.
Which means that it's not a you thing. It's based on who made it, right? So there was a time where, and guys, I apologize for this. It's a horrible thing to say. I'm apologizing in advance, but there was a time when everything was made in sweatshops, right? So, you know, all the people there were really skinny. So when they said small, they meant it. When they said medium, they meant it. Now, you know, they were liberated and people are, you know, kind of, there's fat people making clothes now, you know what I mean?
Excuse me, is this a sweatshop medium or a sweatshop large?
This is how we dress up in South Africa, right? There's only sort of 4 pieces of clothing that need to be really good quality and strong, okay?
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're just rolling in money and every day you can just like be wearing like Yves Saint Laurent and Gucci and Versace, right? So as long as your shoes are quality, your jeans are quality, and
check.
Yeah, so shoes and jeans need to be quality.
I don't really like these trainers though.
Watch, jewelry quality, everything else doesn't matter. Because a shirt, you're going to sweat into that shirt, right? A jacket has to be quality. So if you're wearing a suit, your jacket has to be quality, but your shirt can come from anywhere. So,
interesting.
Like, you look at someone's suit, they're not going to look at the shirt and go, oh, it's Armani. No, the suit jacket and the suit pants, and if you're wearing a 3-piece, then your waistcoat, that should be quality. But the shirt doesn't have to be. Because when someone looks at you, no one cares about the shirt. The shirt just mustn't look ridiculous. And that you can find anywhere. So if you need to shop for underwear, if you need to shop for hoodies, if you need to shop for, this is something else. But if you want hoodies, if you want joggers, if you want casual pants, Zara is amazing.
What are joggers?
So joggers are they're like
those joggers?
No, these aren't.
What's joggers?
No. Joggers are.
I don't even know what they are.
Joggers are, you know, when you see those people wearing pants that have a elastic at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are joggers.
Tracksuit bottoms.
You can have tracksuit type joggers, but technically a tracksuit is a polyester material. But joggers can be tracksuit, but they're mainly just any type of material that has elastic at the bottom. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
something you would jog in, but you know they've changed the materials.
I'm not going to be buying anything like that. No. All right, man. Good to see ya. Give me a touch.
It's so good seeing you too, man.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And remember, with all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world.